it's up to you to compress that timeline just enough to make that dream happen before you die. Before you're telling me that you're going to start 2026 the same way that you started 2025? Come on, man. And somehow you think that 2026 is going to be the best year of your life? Buddy, that's not happening. That's not happening. It's just not happening. You know, there's only a few days left here in 2025, and if you look back at this year and you've accomplished nothing and you've made no progress and you've been stuck, not just this year, but for a few years, the reality is that you just haven't come to the realization or have the balls to admit that you are stuck and your life sucks. And the reality is that taking accountability for that shitty life is the only way to break free. See, right here in my hands, I have all the questions that I ask myself every year. At the beginning of the year, I ask myself these questions. There are 10 questions, and these are going to dictate how my year goes. But this takes time and effort. You have to really go back to the previous year, analyze what you did correctly, what you did wrong, what you didn't do, where you slacked, where you wasted time. You really have to get some clarity out of all that. Otherwise, it was a wasted year, another wasted year. And if you think about how physics, the universe works, humanity, how it all works, we're all in a irreversible process called entropy. Starts at birth and ends at death. It's a linear process. And there's really nothing you can do about it physically. We can't really control this thing called time. But guess what? We can't control everything else. Everything else that is not time, we can't control. It is in our hands. We can compress time. Okay, we can actually take the future and bring it closer to our present. And we can do that by putting in the effort, by planning and figuring out the direction and the actions necessary to fulfill those goals in a tighter, compressed timeline. If you can achieve your goals faster, you're basically living in the future. What you thought would take a year, 5 years, 10 years, if you can compress that timeline and get it done in 6 months, 3 months, 30 days, that's how you change your life. That's how you live in the future, and that's how you become successful. I'm actually compressing a timeline right now as we speak in this video. As the sun sets and they're going to close this pool down, I've compressed my timeline for 2026 from 1 year to 3 months. And it all starts with this one video because I've broken down those 3 months into phases. This is phase 1, the introduction. See, we don't give ourselves the opportunity to change, to become, to thrive. Why? Because it's hard. We're afraid. We're afraid not only of the work itself, but the sacrifices. We're also afraid of what other people will think of us. But fuck them. They don't pay our bills. They don't pay your bills. All the things that I am proud of, that make my identity, that make me me, that make me who I am, are all the same things that I get hate for. People hate me for the things that I love, for the things that I worked hard for, the things that I am proud of, the things that I strive for. It's a long list, but it's one worth sharing. I've gotten hatred for eating healthy, for being fit, for being lean, for creating a business that allows me to think, to live, to love, to do what I want, with whom I want, whenever I want. I get shit for that. They hate it. I love it. And it's the reason why I do this. The more hate I get from people that are honestly lazy, complacent, uninformed, and not willing to put in the work. So once you stop caring what they think about you, what they think about what you're doing, once you stop caring, once you live for yourself, once you understand that you're in full control of everything, and then you can actually start living the life you dreamt of. So, I've been thinking, when I dream of something at night when I'm sleeping, if I dream that I am on a tropical vacation in Bali or in Holbox, Mexico, if I can dream of that vacation and I wake up in pure bliss just thinking about it, and I don't act upon that dream, and I don't take the necessary steps to make that dream a reality quickly while I can still enjoy those things, then that entire dream, that night of sleep was an absolute waste of time. Let's be real. We sleep to dream and we live to work towards those dreams. That is the reality that we're all avoiding. We think that our dreams are out there, somewhere else. But they are not. They're actually in your future. Dreaming is like going to the future. It's like time travel. But it's up to you to compress that timeline just enough to make that dream happen before you die. before entropy fulfills its role in your life. So if you want to live in the future, you have to ask yourself the right questions. You need to bring that future closer to your reality, to your present. And the only way to do that is to compress the timeline. I wasted 2 years of my life. After my separation, I became a single father, lost everything, started from scratch from a studio apartment at 40 years of age. And I wasted 2 years. Looking back, I could have compressed that timeline by a lot, but only if I had asked myself the right questions, taken the time to get the clarity and figure out the direction and the actions needed to compress that timeline. So what I did is I analyzed everything that I did for those 2 years. With undeniable scrutiny, I omitted all the things that were just wasting my time, and I highlighted the needle movers, the things that actually brought me closer and closer to that future, to that goal. And I took all that information, put it on a spreadsheet, gave each item a realistic time frame and a value. And to be honest with you, I got pretty frustrated when I realized that I could have gotten all that done in like 2 or 3 months. I could have learned the right things, asked the right questions, met the right people, seeked the right opportunities and experiences. I could have done all that much faster. Now wasted 2 years of my prime. But at the end of the day, I realized that it's too late for me. I've already taken the steps and succeeded. I'm on the other side now. I've got clarity, I've got direction, I've got momentum, I've got confidence, and I've built an identity that I'm comfortable with. Do I have more to learn and more growth in my future? Absolutely. But I realized that the only way that I am able to grow beyond this point is by helping others. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you take accountability for your life. The same way that it took me 2 years to finally take the blame, take accountability, responsibility for everything that's happened to me, regardless of who's at fault. If someone does something to you, you allowed it to happen. It is on you. It is your fault. And until you realize that you cannot change your life, you cannot succeed, you cannot move on until you take full accountability. So I've put all that information together in a short workbook for all of you guys who are struggling just like I was, but don't really have the time, the funds, the clarity to maybe work with someone one-on-one. You still want to put the effort in. You still want to figure this whole thing out. This workbook took me 6 months to put together. It made me relive all those terrible moments. I'm not gonna lie, it was hard. But what kept me going is knowing that it wasn't gonna go to waste. All that effort, all that learning, all that sacrifice, all the emotions, they weren't going to go to waste if I can share that with you guys. So I think they're closing down the pool and I gotta get out of here. But listen, if there's something that you take away from this video, just please understand that if you made it this far through this video, it's a long video, 18 minutes already, or 17 minutes. If you made it this far, it means that you're trying to change. You see the future, you see the opportunities. You just need to get started. You need to jumpstart the process. And then, once you start, please don't do what I did. Compress the timeline, baby. Compress the timeline. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. They're about to close the pool, but I'm going to leave the link in the bio to that workbook. It's going to take you 100 days to get through everything. It's 49 pages. It's not a long read. It's got a lot of questions that are going to give you the clarity that you need. Hopefully give you the direction and build some momentum. But the first 10 days of that program are the most important days. And that's why it's important that you get it now, so that when January 1st of next year comes around, you are ready. You've gone through chapter 1 and you're ready to build on the momentum. You don't want to start on January 1st. You want to start now. January 1st is not the day to start. January 1st is the day that you realize that you are on a path to building something special, or once again on a path to squander another year. It's up to you, buddy. Let's go.